All right. Hi, my name is SeeSee. Oh, wait. I'm gonna do that again. We're starting out strong.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Casey from SeeSee Casey Cosplay. I am based out of Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm an American cosplayer. So I always did theater and stuff in high school, and I was a theater major in college. I always made my own Halloween costumes and stuff like that, and whenever I went to my first convention with my cousin, I sort of kind of fell in love with the whole scene and really enjoyed being there and started to get more into it. And here I am. The first one that I wore to a convention was a closet cosplay that I threw together the night before, and it was Velma from Scooby-Doo, and it was a very terrible rendition, but people still took pictures with me, so I don't know if that says anything about me or more about them, but and then the first one that I fully made myself by hand was the Teen Titans TV show version of Starfire's outfit. They loved it for the most part. My dad didn't really understand it at first, but the first time that I got him to actually come to a convention, he kind of, understood it better. And then my mom loves it. She really loves furries. It's kind of weird. She really loves furries. She thinks they're really cool. She doesn't understand the whole furry thing. She doesn't know that there's a thing. She just sees them, and every single time she sees one, she's like, "Oh, take a picture of me in this giant, fox thing." She's always like, "Take a picture of me with it." I'm like, "Mom, you don't know."
You think you're gonna tell her one day, "Hey, Mom, for a lot of people, that's kind of a fetish."
Maybe eventually. Once she's more integrated into the scene, Yeah. But for now, it's just funny to laugh at her. And my brother loves it all too, because he's, he's like me. He's nerdy. So that would be the Starfire that I made initially, my first ever hand-sewn, handmade costume, because I didn't really know what I was doing. And instead of using like active mesh wire or anything like that, which is, a lot more gentle on skin and stuff, whenever I was sculpting my first kind of base for her chest armor, I used chicken coop, chicken wiring to sculpt it. And I could have very easily removed it before I went to the convention, but I didn't think about it. So after I had finished my whole thing, I went to the convention, and the wire cut into my neck and was making me bleed, and was not fun. And so less than an hour into the convention, after I had spent weeks making this stupid cosplay, I wound up going and buying clothing from the vendors and changing the bathroom, and sadly carrying my little Starfire outfit in a little bag around. Well, obviously my first ever guesting experience stands out. It was at Corpus Christi Comic-Con, and it was just the fact that I felt like it was such a big milestone to hit was a big deal. Other than that, I really loved, last year I was able to take my Cinderella cosplay with me to Ren Fair and shoot it there, and there were so many little girls, which I don't know if I should say I don't like kids on the camera. I'm not a huge fan of kids, but they were just so happy to see a princess that they recognized, like Cinderella, because at Ren Fair there's princesses and stuff. It's not a character. And so they were just so excited to see Cinderella, and running up and hugging me and taking pictures, and they were so happy about it, and trying to get me to dance with them in the fields and stuff. So that was really fun. Starfire, because she's my favorite character of all time. I've always loved her. I have a lot of Starfire merch. I have a bunch of the original Tales of the New Teen Titans comics and stuff. I'm trying to collect them all. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but she's just my favorite character ever, and so whenever I get to actually dress up as her and have people enjoy that I'm dressed up as her, it's just so satisfying to me to be like, yeah, I am Starfire.
What is it about the character that you love so much?
I just think that she's this very strong, empowering character, regardless of what they did to her in the New 52. If we pretend that didn't happen. She's this very strong, very kind character, which a lot of times, you know, especially back whenever they first kind of introduced her, those two weren't necessarily, they were kind of mutually exclusive. You could have a strong character, but that didn't mean they were going to be nice, you know? And she really is, like, at her basis, such a, like, pure, like, kind of sweet character, and she always does what she thinks is the right thing, you know, whether it's good for her or not. And, you know, she had such difficulties in her life and has overcome them, and she still sees the best in people, even though she's been through so much, and she still wants to fight for people that can't fight for themselves and take care of other people. And I think that's just really wonderful. And she's adorable. You know, that doesn't hurt. Well, actually, yeah, Harry Potter probably is my favorite thing. I was really into it growing up. I dressed as Dobby at like a couple of the premieres, went to all the midnight releases for the books and stuff, things like that.
That's your hobby?
Honestly though, this is my life, because I spend so much time making stuff, and then on the weekends I'm going to conventions.
Yeah.
And other than that, I like to walk around outside.
That's nice.
I'm so boring. But we have I live literally a couple miles from the botanical gardens here in Fort Worth, so I like to go out there and I play Pokemon Go a lot. I guess I do read quite a bit, obviously. I have books everywhere. I definitely do. I definitely think that a lot more people are open and accepting to people that are like really passionate about comics or TV shows or different things like that, because everyone has something that's important to them, and it's a lot easier for us to relate to each other now because there are so many things you can be interested in, and no one wants to make someone feel bad for things that they like because they don't want to be made feel bad about something they like. And it's just a very inclusive environment, and it's very accepting to all walks of life, all fandoms, you know, stuff like that. And I think that that's kind of impacted it, the fact that there are so many different things that people can be into. So more people are joining the culture now, the nerd culture.
Right.
I make the vast majority of it. Out of all the ones that I have here right now, I think there are only 2 that I didn't make, and they're both dye subs, and I can't.
What does that mean?
It means that you can either commission a pattern, or you can buy it from a company that makes suits on their own already. But a dye sub is like a suit pattern, like a spandex suit pattern, where they dye the fabric. So there are no seams or anything like that. So my Starfire is a dye sub, and my New 52 Supergirl is a dye sub.
So your Starfire is not something you just ordered off Amazon. You had to have it made for you.
No, I had to have it made, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I ordered the print, and then I had to go to an outside like maker of suits and have them make it for me. So this is my celebrity gallery. It's all of my pictures with celebrities. Well, not all of them. James Marsters isn't up here, and then John Barrowman is on my shelf. But other than that, all of my geekies.
Who is this?
That is Paul Wesley. He's very pretty.
And what are you cosplaying as there?
I was Magenta and my friend was Columbia. We took off like half our stuff to take the pictures. I always take off my stuff when I take pictures. Arthur Darville, then we got Ian Somerhalder. I actually had never seen Vampire Diaries the week before we took these pictures.
And who's this up here?
That's Billie Piper, I love her. She's from Doctor Who. And we got David Tennant, Doctor Who as well.
Here is, what's her name?
Catherine Tate.
And
then
who
all
are...
the kids from It. So that is Wyatt Olaf. I said his name earlier. Mike Hanlon is played by Chosen Jacobs. That's Chosen Jacobs. I can never remember his name. I'm not gonna try. Sophia Lillis, Jaden Lever, and Jeremy Ray Taylor.
You know, correct me if I'm wrong, is this not a shrine to It?
I know that you like to say that, but
It is.
I'm gonna pretend it's not. I mean, it is, but I'm gonna pretend it's not. Because
totally...
it makes me seem less crazy.
That is a legit shrine to It and Pennywise.
I went to the premiere. I went to the Alamo Draft House's clown-only premiere, so we had to dress as clowns.
Oh shit!
And I have all of my my movie tickets, my movie stubs from when I went and saw it, and like the dates and times and stuff written in the back. That is signed by Amanda Connor.
And for those who don't know, who's Amanda Connor?
She is the woman who did the new Starfire comics. So I got the cover of the first Starfire comic signed by her.
What is this?
That is my Supergirl wig. I wore it last weekend, so I need to refluff it before I put it up.
What the heck is that?
Okay, so this was for a Lizzie Borden cosplay.
What?
That I had made. And so basically I took PVC pipe, I put pink insulation foam around it, and I built the blade out of PVC foam as well and just sanded it all down into the shape that I wanted. And then I primed and painted it, and I have a little axe now.
What is the rest of this stuff?
Okay, so this is my diva stuff for my half-assed casual cosplay whenever I wake up late. I always do diva. And then this, I actually won, this is the God Killer sword from Wonder Woman. And it's a handmade sword. I did not make it. I won it in a charity auction last year. So it's very beautiful and I love it.
That's when you do Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I'm going to make a Diana costume. I have the fabric to make her blue dress that she wears, and then puts the sword, you know, like with the hilt coming out of the back.
So what are we looking at?
So this is the Red Daughter of Krypton set of comics from the New 52 Supergirl. This is the outfit that I have. That's her New 52 outfit, and then this is the one that I want to make. I don't know if there's a better shot of it.
And that's one of the ones that you wanted to do, or you want to do recently?
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Soon. Don't know how soon, but... Okay.
Future plans for
right
cosplay?
now, I am working on Krista for Ferngully, because I'm going to wear that to Scarborough Fair this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then for Fan Expo, I want to have finished the Justice League Odyssey Starfire outfit, Satine from Moulin Rouge, her pink diamonds outfit. And then I'm going to be doing Rapunzel from Tangled, since Zachary Levi's going to be there. And take a picture with him.
Okay, so
this is the Virgo coming out in me. I'm super organized.
what is all this we're looking at right now?
So these are all of the cosplays that I have here with me right now. Well, all the ones that fit into these. Obviously, Cinderella is not going to fit in this.
We have Venom.
We have Venom. We have a Christmas version of Diva. We have my Christmas Ivy, which the corset actually doesn't fit in there. It's hanging in my closet. We have Kiki's Delivery Service and Luna. It's only their accessories. We have Autumn Ivy, Bride of Frankenstein, my Rebirth Starfire, Lola Bunny, Chihiro from Spirited Away, New 52 Supergirl, the Pokemon Blossom, and then my Team Rocket Grunt and my Jigsaw cosplay are both in that one.
Wow. Holy shit.
I got this half off after Halloween since I'm doing the Diana cosplay. I figured that I could redo the top of it and make it look good and add it. to make it more obvious that I'm being Diana. Then I have all of my wigs down here. My corset for sateen that I'm still working on, extra fabric. I have guns that I'm repainting because I'm gonna do the Punisher eventually. And just little things. I have a sickle in case I do Scarecrow. So basically this is a 3-part costume. I have a glove, a like onesie upper body suit, and then pants. I made everything except for the like base of the pants are just a pair of really thick spandex tights. I used latex based paints and I just did my designs. I used a mixture of colors so that it would look more liquid and wouldn't fall flat. So I have a metallic black, a metallic gray, and then just regular black, so that it looks like, you know, veins and stuff. The glove I made by making a glove base and only doing like half fingers. And then I made the fingers themselves by wrapping my fingers in saran wrap to see how thick I needed them, taking that off, and then using hot glue actually to make them kind of look like veiny and kind of liquidy and viscous. And then I just covered them in the same paint that I was using for the rest of my outfit. And then I used acrylic-based paints to give more of a flat kind of look, to look like you could see my skin through. And there's a place on my back too that looks really cool. I don't know which side it's on. But basically, I went through and did that so that I could wear this and have the effect of, you know, being overcome by the symbiote and having partially become Venom, but not fully, and not have to actually put holes into my costume. Then when I do the makeup, I use liquid latex and toilet paper to create thick veins along my neck, and then I just use regular Mayron Makeup Paradise AQ water-based paint to color the veins and then put the black on my face as well.
How many hours did it take you to actually make this costume, would you say?
If I'm counting them out, probably like 80 or 90 hours. Yeah.
Say that again?
I use a literal paintbrush, an actual paintbrush to paint myself.
I don't think that was meant for skin.
Well, oh well. So basically when I do my face, I use a combination of a stippling brush, which is one of these flat based brushes, and sponges, which is why I have this, and then some smaller sponges to do the contours around my nose. A couple of different kinds of body paint that you can get. There's like grease paint, there's alcohol based. Basically with alcohol based, you can only remove it with alcohol. With water, you can remove it with water. So this is a water based one, which is what I prefer to use at conventions. I always wet my brush before I start working on everything so that I'm not going in with a dry brush. So basically you have to pour water on the hard makeup because it's dry in order to make it to where you can actually use it. And it takes me about 3 hours to do both my face and just my upper arms. So I'm not even doing like a full body. I always just do my upper arms, my neck, and then my face. So basically I go in. Maybe I shouldn't use a place that's so hairy. Okay. Okay. And basically I go across and over the first time I do it so that I don't have streaks on my arm. And you don't have to use like a full paintbrush. You can use makeup brushes. I just think that this is quicker and it makes it to where you have less blotches and more consistency. And then you have to let it dry. I usually use a hair dryer because it makes it so much faster. Okay, so after the first layer has dried, I'm gonna take hairspray, light hairspray. This is Aussie like flexible hold. It's the lowest one that they have. I know some of the Dove ones are really light holds as well, because if you use the thicker ones, it's gonna cake up your makeup and make it crack, and you don't want that. So I use a light hold and just spray it on, and then you have to let that dry as well. That's why this takes so long, this process, because you have to do one thing, let it dry, do another thing, let it dry, do this, let it dry. And you take a translucent powder, or if you have a powder that's the same color that you're painting, you can use that too. And then I just take translucent powder. This is e.l.f.'s Perfect Finish HG powder. I only get the cheap kind of powder because I use so much of it and it's gonna turn orange anyways. So basically put on way more than you think you need. It's gonna look white, don't worry, we'll brush it off later. And let that sit for just a couple of seconds. And then you can kind of just brush it off. And then I like to do a second layer. You don't have to, this is enough. But like when I'm doing my arms, I always have people coming up and giving me hugs and things like that, or taking pictures and putting their arms around me and stuff. And sweat plus water-based paint means that it's all gonna come off. So I always set mine a second time so that whenever people like come up and hug me, take pictures and things like that, it's not gonna just rub all of my makeup off. Plus, if you're at a convention, you don't wanna be walking around with makeup on and getting it everywhere. Nobody likes those people. There's always that one person. And then I'm done with that. And whenever I do my face, I always do like 2 extra layers of the powder, because if I don't, I will sweat it off. And then if you just take powder with you and powder yourself down throughout the day, you won't sweat it off. Honestly, it's very easy to do that. And some people use barrier spray. I have barrier spray. Honestly, just use hairspray. It's not worth it. Barrier spray, this bottle's like, I wanna say it was like 10 bucks for this tiny little bottle. And you have to spray like 4 times to cover this amount of area. Just use hairspray. It works the same. It works better. Okay, so basically with this, with the Starfire suit, I did not make this. I had it made for me. You can buy dye subs, which basically means you're going on and buying a pattern that someone has created that you can have printed for yourself with, you know, ink onto fabric. So a lot of people use like independent contractors off of Etsy, do a lot of, you know, dye subs that you can buy off of Etsy. You download the file and you have it made. I got this from Arachnid Studios. That's one of the most popular ones. His name is Brandon Gilbert. He makes like the best in the business. So basically you buy it and you download it, and then you go to a separate website. You can go to Zentai Zone or Heroes Time. Those are like 2 of the most popular ones because they're not going to cost you an arm and a leg. And you upload your file and put in like your measurements, and they print the suit to your measurements and they sew it and they send it to you. So that's basically what this is. I bought the Starfire Rebirth pattern, and then I went on to Zentai Zone because Arachnid Studios, if you buy it from them, have a discount code if you go to Zentai Zone. And I uploaded it, put in my measurements, they printed it out and sent it to me. And so all I have to do is paint myself and put this on. I've learned that painting your legs is not something that is really great. If you have bigger thighs like I do, it's gonna rub off in between. Like no matter what you do, your thighs are gonna rub off your paint. And then like with this, it does not, because it's pointed, it's not just gonna stay up with your body paint. Or I used spirit gum on it, didn't work, wasn't strong enough. I used lingerie tape on it, didn't work, wasn't strong enough. Maybe duct tape, but I don't like duct taping my skin. I've had some bad experiences with that method, so I don't do it. And if you see any pictures from the first time that I wore this at a convention, I did paint my legs that time, and in every single picture that I'm taking with people, I'm holding up my leg like this because my things are falling down. But yeah, my Supergirl suit is it's a dye sub as well, and I have to sew myself my knees up on that one too. Some people take like the clear bra straps and they'll sew a little thing onto here and sew something right here and just put the clear bra straps through. I don't really like the way it looks, so I just do this. I know this is way more difficult than doing that. Okay, so this is my new 52 Supergirl. It's a dye sub print by the same guy that did the print that is my Starfire one. The difference between that outfit and this one is that I painted over it. So I spent like probably 30 hours going through and painting all of this detailing all along and down all the way around the whole suit. The whole suit is painted. Yeah. So I did all of that by hand, and I detailed like, I mean, the little bitty X's that are in here. I mean, I did everything. And then I had to make the cape, and then I sew myself into my, like I said earlier, I sew myself into the stockings every single time that I wear them.